When it comes on to life, every person that you meet, everyone that you come across, every person that has been in your life has been an angel in your life, right? The people who cared for you, the people who supported you, the people who loved you. But not only those people, the people who have hurt you, the people who have betrayed you, people who have rejected you, the people who have done you harm, those people are angels in your life as well, right? See, when it comes on to life, you are going to encounter two types of angels. There are going to be two different types of angels when it comes on to life, right? You're going to have the people who show you how loved you are. Those are the type of people who we love and we cherish, and we're thankful they were a part of our lives. And you're going to have the people who come to teach you. And those are the type of people, who we quite often carry resentment towards, type of people who we spend most of our lives hating, the type of people who we spend so much of our lives wishing that we never encountered these people, right? But both of those people, the people who come to show you how loved you are, and the people who come to teach you, they are both essential parts of all of our lives. And I think when it comes down to life, it's not so much that you should, sort of, I guess, disregard everything that they've done. But when it comes down to life, you have to get to a place in which you recognize that even the people who hurt you in your life are essential when it comes on to stepping into who you fully are, stepping into your self love, stepping into choosing yourself, stepping into enforcing your boundaries, stepping into the you in this moment. Those people are just as essential when it comes on to your life, right? They truly are. See, I remember a few years ago, um, this is in regards to my dating life, right? A few years ago, I had two situations with two different women back to back. Um, quite opposite situations as well, right? The first situation, I met this girl, we hit it off, things were great, things are smooth, and then things changed for the worse. Things ended up being toxic. She started to disrespect me. She started to put me down. And I also did things that I wasn't or I'm not proud of, right? In sort of retaliation to her treatment of me, right? And then after I left that situation, there was a period in my life, a short period, in which I had to self reflect. I had to look within myself and I had to see where I went wrong or what needed to change within me, right? And so I did the work. I saw where I went wrong, and I changed some things. Now, right after that period of change in my life, I encountered a different woman. We hit it off as well. Things were smooth, things were great, things were amazing, very healthy, extremely healthy. Things didn't work out for different reasons, but never the same. That was one of the healthiest dating experiences of my life, right? Now, looking back at those experiences, I am grateful that I met both of those women. And I consider both of those women to be angels in my life, right? I cherish both of them, even the one that hurt me, even the one that did me wrong. See, in that moment when I met her, I was insecure, I was a people pleaser, I was afraid of being myself, I was afraid of being authentic, I lack boundaries, I lack self respect, I lack having the ability to walk away. And all she did was expose the holes in my armor. All she did was show me where I was weak, where I was falling short. She exposed what needed to be exposed within me. She didn't bring out anything new within me. She simply exposed what was already there, right? My lack of boundaries, my lack of self-respect, my lack of self-love, my people pleasing, all of that she exposed within me. And maybe if I didn't encounter her, I probably wouldn't be the person that I am today. I wouldn't step into my self love. I wouldn't have stepped into choosing myself. I wouldn't have stepped into being able to walk away when things are not how I want them to be if I didn't meet her. So she had to expose things within me that needed to be exposed, right? The next situation with the other girl, after I did the work, after I identified things within me that needed to change, she came into my life to show me that who I am was worthy of love. With her, I didn't have to pretend to be anyone else. I showed up as my authentic self. I enforced my boundaries. I stood on my self respect. I stayed true to who I am. And she had love for me just the same, for me just being my authentic self. And so, for most of my life, me thinking that the real me wasn't good enough, right? For most of my life, me thinking that I had to pretend to be someone else in order to get love, she showed me that all of that was bullshit. And she showed me that I was deserving of love. I was worthy of love just based on me being me, right? Both of those experiences, both of those women, two different types of women, two different types of experiences, both of them were angels in my life. Both of them. And see, if you go through life holding on to resentment, holding on to anger, hating the people who hurt you, you're never going to come to a place in which you recognize the lessons that the experiences that you had with those people needed to teach you. You're never going to recognize the lessons that you needed to take away from all the bad experiences that you had with those people. If you only hold on to the anger and resentment, you're never truly going to recognize how essential those people are in your life, right? The people who you hate, the people who you resent, the people you have grievances towards, they quite often are simply exposing things within you that were already there. Maybe you need to enforce your boundaries more. Maybe you need to start being true to yourself. Maybe you need to stop the people pleasing. Maybe you need to know when to walk away. Every experience that you've had, every bad experiences that you had with people in your life and in your past, they were meant to be lessons. They were meant to serve as a reference point, or they were meant to be experiences that facilitated your introspection, that facilitated you going within yourself and recognizing what needs to be changed, right? Every person that you meet is an angel that comes into your life. And angels don't come in one form. Some angels come with lessons, and some angels come to reflect back to you just how loved you are. But nevertheless, both of them are equally necessary in your life. Both of them. So not only do you need to reflect on your experiences, but you need to allow yourself to let go of the anger, let go of the resentment, let go of the hate. Let it all go. And I'm not sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not sort of trying to say that what they did was right. I'm not trying to excuse their actions. I'm really not. It's hard when you've had people in your life who hurt you. It's hard when you put your trust in people and they betray you. It's hard when you have people who put you down. It truly is hard. But there's no point in going through life holding on to the anger and the hate and the resentment. There's truly no point at all. There's really no point. I've always said this to myself that this is just me being honest. I've probably been those two types of angels in other people's lives as well. There have been situations in which I hurt people, and there have been situations in which I reflected love to those people. We're all both of those angels in someone's life, but we just don't see it. And sometimes we do things out of a lack of awareness. Sometimes we do things from a place of being unconscious, being unaware. But we've all at some point been both of those types of angels in someone's life. And how would we feel if someone was to hold on to anger, if someone was to hold on to resentment, if someone was to hold on to hatred towards us because of actions that we were sort of unaware of, or because of our ignorance at that stage of our lives, right? How would we feel if someone was to spend the rest of their lives hating us? And I think recognizing that has made it easier for me to forgive people. Recognizing that I've probably done things that I'm not proud of. Recognizing that I've probably hurt people as well out of my ignorance. all of the things that I was battling with internally. And if I hurt people from my ignorance or my lack of awareness, and I would like those people to forgive me, then why wouldn't I find it in my heart to forgive the people who have done me wrong as well? This world is in need of forgiveness. This world is in need of people who can extend some empathy, some sympathy, some compassion towards everyone, even the people who have done wrong in their past. That's what this world needs. None of us are sort of innocent in our actions. We come into this world, we spend a lot of our lives being unaware. We spend a lot of our lives trying to find our feet. We spend a lot of our lives trying to love ourselves. And at some point, all of us have done things that hurt people. And if we desire forgiveness, then we have to be able to forgive as well. And we have to be able to recognize that, and I don't want this to go over people's heads. I don't want to go too deep with it. We have to understand that from a macro perspective, from a grander perspective, we're all facilitators in each other's journey back to ourselves. And what I mean by that is every action that we take, everything that we do is sort of helping each other to return back to ourselves. And sometimes, this is going to sound very strange, sometimes what a person needs to return back to themselves isn't in the form of our action that we might deem as being right. Follow me here, right? I quite often reflect on the experiences I told you guys about with that first girl who, did me wrong, who hurt me, or if you want to even say that. And I said to myself, if she was to only love me, if she was to only be good to me, then I would never become aware of the things that I were unaware of within me, right? I wouldn't become aware of how much I truly didn't love myself. And if she was just loving towards me, then her love would simply mask the insecurities that I had. So I needed to meet her in order for the things that I were unaware of to become exposed or to become sort of um or for me to become sort of conscious of, right? Follow me here. Probably tripping over my words a bit. But she was a key factor in making the unconscious conscious. Shout out to Carl Jung. He was a key factor in making the unconscious conscious. She was a key factor in making what I was unaware of now aware of. And because she did that, I was able to make change within myself. And once I made those changes within myself, I then came across a woman who showed me what a healthy relationship looks like, who showed me how a person is supposed to love me, who showed me what it feels like being in a relationship or a situation that was healthy and real because of those changes that I've made. So both of them were necessary. And I kid you not, you might not believe me in this moment, but one day you're going to come recognize this. One day you're going to recognize this. Every experience that you had is necessary for where you need to be or for where you need to go. That journey that we need to make back to ourselves, that journey that we need to make back to our self love, every experience is necessary. And once you get to that point in which you recognize that every experience is necessary, not only do you sort of begin to appreciate some of the bad experiences that you've had, but you recognize that there isn't any point in holding on to anger and resentment and hatred towards a person. And that's when you truly begin to forgive, right? So, everyone in your life, everyone that you meet, everyone that you come across, from the people who have showed you love to the people who have hurt you, every single one of them is or was an angel in your life. And once you recognize that, that's when life truly becomes free. That's when it becomes beautiful. That's when you don't hold on to grudges and anger and resentment, and you allow yourself to let things go. So, yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for spending this 20 something minutes with me if you made it this far. A peaceful day, really cool, very relaxing. It's my type of weather, in which it's sunny but cool. That's the best weather. Sunny and cool. I love it. So, yeah, take care of yourselves. Give yourselves a bit of love every day, like I always say. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace and blessings.